So the next thing I'm going to show you is the discussion area. It's the same as before, but there are a few small changes. So we're going to go over to communication and down to discussion. And you will notice here, like my forum, question and answer forum is a forum that I keep up for students to be able to post questions throughout the semester, any random question that they have. And the module is here. This is the forum. And if I want to add a topic under my forum, I would click here. If I want to edit my forum, I would click here. And if I want to view my statistics on my forum, here you can see, I can see exactly how many people have posted, how many people have read, and how many posts that they've read. I've got some students that have read 43 different posts, some that only read 5 posts. So it gives you a little report on what they've done. Now I'm going to go back up to Edit Forum. I could go back to my discussion list by following the breadcrumbs here. I'm going to go back to Edit Forum so I can show you. Up here we have a tab for restrictions, and I can set restrictions. Once I set them, I would say save and close. And let me go back to Edit Forum so I can show you what else is under there. You'll notice that you have some options. After type in what you need to type right here, you can say allow anonymous message so students can post anonymously. You can also say that the message must be approved by you before it's displayed. So you have some choices there. Also, you can say forum is always visible or hide this forum. So I can get it all ready to go ahead of time and then just say hide it until I'm ready to show it. Or I actually can set those specific dates on when it would start showing and when it would stop showing. So you have some choices there in visibility and where it's available. The next thing is locking options. So unlock and lock the forum. Unlock the forum for specific dates. You can choose specific dates for those. And then once you make all your choices, also you'll notice it has display and calendar. So if you would like those to be displayed in your calendar. And then I can go down and say save and close. And then there's my specific topic. If I would like to hide the topic from the student, for right now they can't see that topic, but I want mine to show and I want to edit it. So I'm going to click on the little arrow here and say edit the topic, and maybe I make a few changes here. You'll notice that I also have those availability choices and locking options and displaying in my calendar just as I did for the forum. For those of you that have never used the forum or the topic, you'll notice that when you go under new and say new forum and you create a new forum, I'm just going to say test here because we're just going to say test. You'll also want to click create a new topic. All the choices that I have on showing it, not showing it. Let's hide this forum and say close. And you'll notice that my test down here at the bottom, the last thing that was created, and you'll see that it says hidden here. So that's telling me that it's still hidden and the students can't see it. It's also created a topic for me called test. Now I really don't want the topic to be called test, so I can say edit this topic, and this is topic 1 of test, and post your thoughts here for reading 2. I'm just posting a little bit of things so you can see the options that I have, and say save. So you'll notice whenever I save that my topic is right here, my forum is right here. Students cannot post to a forum. You have to have a topic inside a forum. A forum is just setting up a discussion area, and in order for students to be able to post, you have to have a topic. So let's say I want to have 3 different topics under that same forum. You would just say add a topic, and this is going to be topic 2 of test, and post your thoughts here after reading number 4. I forget what I chose before, but we're going to say reading 4. And I'm going to say that I really would like to hide this topic also, because I'm not ready for the students to see it. So you'll notice under my forum that I've called test that I have 2 topics. So maybe I have a forum and we're going to discuss a specific concept, and there are sub-concepts that I want to set up, so I would have separate topics. And you'll notice this one says hidden. I didn't hide this one, but it's really okay because my whole module is hidden right now. So the best way to do that would be just to hide that whole forum. So in the discussion area, those are a few of the changes that have taken place. You'll notice also when you go back up to the top of your discussion area, you'll have some tabs here, the discussion list. You'll have subscriptions. So you can subscribe to the different modules, your forum discussions, if you want an email sent to you each time someone posts. And you'll notice over here that I subscribed to that first discussion I had when the students had to post a little blurb about themselves. And so each time a student posted, it came to my email, so it sent me an instant notification. Now if you don't want to get an email from all 25 students, what you can do is say included in a summary, and it will include them all in a summary. So depending on what you choose, and you can subscribe to just the forums, just the topics. You can choose each one individually if you'd like to. You'll notice when you go to the discussion list, you can subscribe over here. So when people post, you would get that notification. The next thing I'd like to show you is if you'd like to filter, you'll notice here it says filter by unread, unapproved, or shared. So you have the choice how you would like to filter those. The next thing is more actions. I can delete, and you know I just added that test, and we're going to go down there and we're going to delete that one that I really don't need in this course. And you'll notice that it checks all of the topics underneath that forum. If I just wanted to delete one of my topics, I would just click on that topic. I'm going to click all of this so I can get rid of all of it and say delete selected, and it's going to ask me, am I sure? And yes, I'm sure I want to get rid of that discussion. The other thing that I'd like to show you is you'll notice there's this setting button here where there are some settings for this unit that you can set up. Once you make those changes, some people like to have unthreaded view, some people like threaded view. You can set up grid style or reading style. Lots of different choices for you to set up the forums the way that you would like to have them set up. So you just say save when you're done with those settings. Also, you'll notice there's a help button over here that will give you some information when you're working in the discussion area. And those are all the things about the discussion area changes that have been made.